Which ones did you do in the room?
Just the first two.
Just the first two. Okay, so just the first two moves are in the room. It's pretty simple today. We start out with a 40-second plank. Okay, this is just gonna be a high plank. We're just here, okay? Making sure that back is nice and flat. When you get into that plank, spread those fingers nice and wide and drop those shoulders down so that back is nice and flat, and then pull that core in. And you're just gonna hold that plank for 40 seconds, okay? Then we've got a barbell thruster. So it's not a squat thruster today, it's just a barbell, right? Yeah, it's just a barbell thruster. So you're gonna keep that barbell here. You can bend your knees a little bit just to give some momentum, but it doesn't have to be a full squat. So we're just here, okay? And we're taking that barbell overhead. In fact, weighted bar. You can use a weighted bar if there are any that aren't being used out here. So you have that barbell here, okay? You're holding, you want your shoulders or your arms to be just as wide as your shoulders, and then you throw it up, overhead, stopping at a neutral position, not letting it go too far behind you. So just slightly, your arms should be just slightly in front of your ears, and then you're back down to here, okay? Little bounce, and then press all the way up. So 40-second plank, and then you've got 6 or 8 to 10 of the barbell thrusters. Then we come out here, and we've got the dumbbell iso quad hold. I guess we use the risers for these. So the quad hold is, we have that dumbbell between our feet, okay? And we are holding that as far out as we can, as straight up as we can, okay? As you're rising this plate up overhead. Ooh, this is tricky trying to balance on this really narrow seat. Okay, feels a little different than the box, but you've got the quad hold with the weight out in front of you, and this weight, you're inhaling up, and exhaling down, okay? That's another element. Ooh, that balance, okay? So make sure you're breathing and not holding your breath during that, okay? Then we have, so you have 12 of those. So count the rises, and you're just holding that quad hold for as long as it takes you to get to 12 of those plate rises. Then we have a weighted bar squat raise. So this one is going to be, you've got 10 to 12. You're in a squat position, okay? So feet, shoulder width apart, hinge a little bit back and sit that butt down, and from here, you're going to rise that weighted bar up in front of you, okay? This is huge on your core, and it's really hard to not round your back. So if you feel like you can't keep that back nice and straight while you're doing that rise, do a squat with that bar, and then rise that bar out in front of you from standing, okay? Just break it, basically deconstruct it a little bit, because this is the lightest bar, and it's pretty difficult to not let your back round. We want to keep that back nice and flat as we lift it, but it will burn out your core, okay? So you got to pull that belly button in while you're doing it, but adjust it if you need to, because then we go straight into a push-up into a pike. So we're going to be here, we're going to go out, okay? We're in this like plank position. You're going to do your push-up and then push back into your pike. So with your pike, you want to think of your ears coming to meet your arms. So they should be in line with your arms, and then come back to here, do your push-up, and then back into your pike. So you're just going to move between that pike to push-up for 10 reps. Over here we have an up-down. This is another one that your back, so it's an up-down with a banded pullback. So let's do this. You don't need a super heavy band for this. So we're gonna do an up down, which is a burpee, no push-up. Yay, no push-up. Hallelujah for that. Okay, so burpee, no push-up. So we're here, okay, back, catch yourself nice and high so that we're not letting that back drop at all, okay? Come back into this squat position and make sure when you come back in, you're dropping that butt down into a good squat position, and then you're pulling that band back towards you, like a pull back, okay? So you're here, okay, catch nice and high, come back in, and pull that band nice and wide up. So, up, down, pull back, 10. So, up, down, and pull back, that's 1. You do it for 10 reps. Then we have a seated, banded row, which you're gonna grab these bands now, the pull-up bands. Okay, one leg is extended, one leg is gonna be bent. So my arms are extended when my knee is bent. And then as I extend that leg, I'm pulling back with my elbows nice and wide. So I'm getting some good back activation into a extension, okay? So leg extension, pulling those elbows wide, pulling back on that band, and then letting go, letting those elbows come back in, letting that leg come back in, okay? So we have the row and the extension for 6 to 8 on each side. Then this move is another one that we're gonna have to be really mindful about when we do it. It's a curtsy lunge. So we hardly ever take that leg behind us, but today with our curtsy lunge, that leg is gonna go behind the front one, doing the work, okay? So we're here, and when we lunge, we're gonna go down. The important thing here is that the knee stays right in line with that big toe still, okay? So we're still here, and we're not moving that foot forward and back, we're just going up and down, okay? So I want you to think more about keeping that leg, watch that knee, watch it go straight down and straight up. It shouldn't go this way, and it shouldn't bend in as you're going down. So you're just gonna watch that knee go straight down, think of that back knee going straight to the ground, and then come up. So it's a pulse for 10 each, so 10 pulses, and then you're gonna switch. That other leg's gonna go behind, okay? You're gonna get into that good lunge position, making sure that knee's in line, and then from here, you're gonna pulse for 10, okay? And then we just end with 2 field laps. So that is that. Only 2.